There you go. Now you, all right? You all right? Very good. All right, I think we're ready to get started. If everyone will stand, please, in prayer, please.
Father, we thank you right now. We bless your holy name. Father, we come humbleness and this is to your will and to your way. Thanking you for what you've done thus far. We thanking you for what you're doing. And bless everyone on the sound of my weak voice. Help us, Father. Help us as we go through this final budget process. We thank you now and we bless you again. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone to our meeting this Monday, September the 15th, 2025 at 5:01 p.m. This is the second and final budget public hearing for our fiscal year 2025-2026. We have our conference line set up. Number there is 1917-900-1022. Access code is 32347 pound. This is not a toll-free number. You may be subject to long distance charges according to your long distance plan. When the chairperson opens the meeting for public comment, please follow the below instructions. If you wish to speak, please dial *5. The moderator will unmute your line when it's your turn to speak and notify you by announcing the last 4 digits of your telephone number. Please announce your name and address. You'll be allowed to speak for 3 minutes. Any person wishing to address the board regarding an agenda item will be given 3 minutes for comment. A commenter may only speak 1 time for each agenda item. With that said, we'll move on to item 3, approval of the agenda. Motion by Commissioner Dent, second by Commissioner Field. All in favor? Aye. All right, we'll move to bids, public hearing, item 4. The board to hold its second and final public hearing on the millage and budget for fiscal year 2025-2026 set for this date at 5:01 p.m. Item A will adopt the final millage for fiscal year 2025-2026. So we can go ahead and open that discussion up.
I just have a really quick overview, not a lot of information. So just for the year 2025, there was a gross taxable value decrease in the general fund of 11.77%. In the MSTU fund, there was a gross taxable value decrease of 14.24%. The board voted to adopt the proposed millage rate as tentative at last week's meeting, which is the same millage rate as the current year in the general fund and in the MSTU fund. The millage rate is 7.2426 mills for the general fund and 1.2250 mills for the MSTU fund. for a total of 8.4676 mills. The rollback rate is the millage rate that would generate the same amount of ad valorem tax revenue as the previous year, based on the current year taxable values. As a result of the decrease in taxable values for 2025, the rollback rate would represent a millage rate increase. If the board would have chosen to go with the rollback rate, we would have experienced a revenue increase because the values decreased. And DOR has me let you know that the aggregate millage rate is 8.2356. The aggregate millage rate is lower than the aggregate rollback rate by 12.23%. The total budget for the 25-26 fiscal year is $101,315,281.
Good. Well, this, go ahead.
I just had something to add, so I just wanted to, for everyone's, information, this was advertised as the second and final public hearing on the budget and the millage for 2025-26. The hearing on this budget and millage has been advertised as provided in Friday, September the 12th, 2025 issue of the Perry News Herald. And then we held a meeting last Monday, September 8th, 2025, and the board adopted the tentative budget and millage rate for 25-26. That was also advertised as a public hearing at that time, so I just wanted to back up to that.
Yeah, okay. So we, last meeting, we, the general fund, tentative, vote was to adopt proposed general fund at 7.2426, MSTU at 1.2250, correct?
Yes.
And just being a public hearing, I guess we need to go ahead and open it up to the public for any comment. So we will open this item up to the public for any comments from the public on this year's budget. Anyone from the public? Do you have anyone on the line? We'll close the public hearing. And we can move on from, any items from the board on item A to adopt the final village.
I would like to make a motion that we keep the rate the same as last year for the general fund of 7.2426.
Right. A motion by Commissioner Fegel to keep the general fund rate millage at 7.2426. We have a second. Second by Commissioner
Okay,
Newman.
that's gonna be a resolution, so I'll do a roll call vote on all of these.
Right.
It'll be adopted by resolution, so, Commissioner English,
Yes.
Commissioner Moody,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman, Commissioner Fegel,
Yes.
and Commissioner Dents.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Do we have we'll move on to our MSTU village. Do we have a motion on our MSTU?
I will make the motion that we keep the MSTU the same as the current year at 1.2250.
Motion to keep the MSTU village at 1.2250 by Commissioner Fegel. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Dents. Roll call.
Commissioner English,
Yes.
Commissioner Moody,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Fegel,
Yes.
and Commissioner Dents.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We want to move on to the item B, or do we need to adopt the overall village?
So we can do it in order, so B, so we'll do the resolutions for the subdivisions, then we'll do the resolution for the solid waste, and then if you want to discuss the final budget, we'll do that under D
That'd be fine.
at the end there, if that's okay with you.
All right.
So anyway, if you want me to go through these before the motion, but I'll let you read them.
Okay. All right, we'll move to item B. Adopt the final assessment resolution for Warrior Creek subdivision, Ocean Pond subdivision, Strickland's Landing subdivision, Oak Ridge Estates Unit 1 subdivision, Bowden subdivision, Steenhatchee Acres subdivision, Gulf Coast Estates subdivision, and Scotland Bay subdivision for 2025-2026.
So we have the non-ad valorem assessment and resolutions to set the rates. So the MSVU assessment rates for Warrior Creek subdivision Yearwood at the Beach subdivision and Ocean Pond subdivisions will be set at $35 per lot per year. Strickland Landing subdivision at $50 per lot per year. Oak Ridge Estates Unit 1 subdivision at $45 per lot per year. Bowden subdivision at $83.94 per lot per year. Steenhatchee Acre subdivision at $207.81 per lot per year. Scarlet Bay subdivision at $313.19 per lot per year. And Gulf Coast Estate subdivision at $320.70 per lot per year.
Good. All right. Do we obtain a motion to approve these, assistants? Do we have a motion? Motion by Commissioner Dent, second by Commissioner Moody.
All right, roll call. Yeah. Commissioner English?
Yes.
Commissioner Moody?
Yes.
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Fiegel?
Yes.
And Commissioner Dent?
Move on to item C. Board to adopt the solid waste assessment for fiscal year 2025-2026 at $178.
So the tax collector has certified the non-ad assessment, solid waste assessment roll at $1,707,732. And then the resolution is to continue the solid waste assessment at $178 for this year.
Any questions on that item? There may be question or discussion. We'll take a motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Moody, we have a second. Second by Commissioner Newman, all in favor, we have a roll call.
Commissioner English?
Yes.
Commissioner Moody?
Yes.
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Fiegel?
Yes.
And Commissioner Dent?
All right. Moving on to item D, board to adopt the final budget for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Mr. Chairman, I think we left this one off at the last meeting about, where we were gonna come down on the final budget. I believe this is where we requested that the sheriff be able to come back for the board. So I
If you want to pull it up.
certainly like to hear what you have to
Microphone up,
say.
please. If you want to pull it up, please.
Can you hear me now? Okay, Mr. Chairman, I believe we spoke last time about, the sheriff having options to address the issues with, I'm sorry. Oh. Bring on the mics. So, if we'd had opportunity there, I'd like to, give the sheriff time to, speak to what we had discussed here about the services. And I believe Commissioner Dent said that he could support those measures. I know Commissioner Moody did. If the sheriff could, speak to what we had talked about with the services remaining the same, if we were able to get the funding in previous years.
Yes, we leave everything the same, I keep everything the same, best we possibly can.
Yes, sir. I didn't know if there was more you wanted to add to that, so I just wanted to try to,
If
we still have anyone here, sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Excuse me, if we can maintain what we bless. And that's what we need to do, if we, any way we can maintain. But I do care about the county, I care about keeping the county clean as we can. You call and ask me to go get stuff off the road, I send the crew right there, we don't hesitate, we pick up dead carcasses during hunting season for people. We mow cemeteries, I care about the cemeteries, I care about side of the roads. If people need it, I think if we can do it, we need to do it. And I'm all in, 100% is up. So, my answer is yes. Go ahead.
Sheriff, I want to just tell you that I know that you've helped a lot of people since you've been elected, because you have a big heart.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've done a lot of other good things. I don't think that anybody can deny those things.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want you to know that where I stand is not personal by any means. So I hope you don't take it personal.
No, I'm fine, yes, ma'am.
I've supported you since you were elected, but this year I can't. And the reason I can't is because our county is in a much different position than we've ever been in the past. And I'm truly sorry that circumstances beyond our control have made it necessary for us to cut all budgets. And the things that I'm going to say, I wish I didn't have to say them, but I feel like it's necessary. Up until now, we've been pushed back in a corner. And if we ever intend to be effective when we ask for budget cuts, then we must remain firm when we ask people to cut their budgets. We have to say what we mean, and we have to mean what we say. We can't be wishy-washy. We have a valid reason for asking for these cuts. And I just explained that because our county has never been in the shape that it's in now. We've seen a significant decrease in our revenue, and we don't have any way right now to replenish those funds. We are where we are. We didn't say, you cut your budget, but you don't have to cut your budget. We asked everybody to cut their budget. And 4 constitutional officers cut their budget, and our county administrator had significant cuts. They all put their pen to paper, and they did what they could to try to help us out, knowing that we were in the situation that we're in. And they did it. Thank God they did it, because we don't have to raise taxes in order to balance our budget this year. Our people are already struggling, and to raise taxes would have put another burden. So I'm appreciative of the ones that cut. Everyone complied except the sheriff's department. And what they did is they came back with an increase of almost $300,000. We asked for decreases, and they came back with a significant increase. So I want to commend the constitutional officers, the 4 constitutional officers, and our county administrator for what you did in trying to help us. It's been brought up in the last meeting that we have a surplus in the general fund of $288,631. And why do you think that is? The answer is simple. Because we have 4 constitutional officers and a county administrator that made cuts. That's why we have a surplus. Now, it's said that we could put that money back in the sheriff's budget. We could do that. But is that what we want to do? If that money is burning a hole in our pocket, that $288,631, if we feel like we've just got to spend that money, then why wouldn't we put it back where it was taken from in the first place? For instance, like with our VA services, our senior citizens center, our 4-H summer program for boys and girls, or put it into roadside and park cleanup that was taken from us. So if we want to spend that money and have to, I say put it back where it came from. I'm not in favor of that, though. I'd like to see it stay in the general fund, because we don't know what else is going to come up that we may need that money for. I just want to say that we can no longer keep funding inflated budgets. I would say to the sheriff, please cut your expenses without cutting deputies. and causing a widespread panic among people, thinking that when they call it deadly, they're not gonna be there. That's not what we're asking. We're asking that you find other places to cut, just like everybody else did. It's time for this board to stand firm and to say no. If we give in to these demands and threats this time, it will be a pattern from now on. We might as well say, here's the budget. Do what you want to with it, because we will never have cooperation again if we give in this time. It will be said, if we do that, it'll be said, or be thought, that if you resist and you refuse and you wait long enough and you show out enough, the commissioners eventually will give in. It's time to stop this nonsense. We can no longer afford this to be expended.
Anyone else?
Well, I can add some to that, Commissioner. It won't be that long, because the reality comes down to, my general fund reserve is much more than $288,000. That's in the existing consideration. So for me to look at our full budget, and I don't take for granted any of the reductions that have been made, I think all of our folks have looked diligently for ways to find decreases, so I'm appreciative of that. But I also look at and understand the need for services and for public safety, and for the sense or sake of rolling this excess into a reserve when those things are in a balance. I'm not willing to go to that extreme. So if we didn't have this funding, it would be a much different consideration. I spoke to the sheriff and told them those things. I spoke to residents and told them those things. So it really comes back to what we discussed in the previous meeting. I believe it was Commissioner Moody who made the statement that the services would suffer with these type reductions, that we wouldn't have the same measure of services and people would lose, and that we'd be doing these things and it would present perhaps a greater expense. And I don't disagree with that. I think that is very much an adequate solution. So I am in favor of funding the sheriff to the degree that we spoke of last week, and going forward and not reducing the services or the funding, but stay at this current budget amount.
Well, for me, I'm a big, long, drawn-out speech over, because, I mean, I've talked it over and over for months and months, and we did ask everyone to reduce their budgets, and everyone did. It's really not to talk about the sheriff, but I'll call the sheriff, and the sheriff always responds to anything. It's been a little, maybe even getting some trash picked up going into the lost sites and such as that. So, as always, we've responded and very appreciative of it, for sure. So, I mean, it's nothing personal. We did, of course, Mr. Fiegel alluded to, we are in a pretty rough time as far as our budgets. I mean, we've been put in a pretty rough time. No one's fault in this room by no means. And so we did ask for cuts, and I think that's kind of where we need to stand as far as is on our final decision that we had made, on this budget. I think we do need to stand where we are. And we did have 5 entities of the budget to go in and dig, and they did make cuts, and we do have a surplus of $288,000 that Commissioner Fiegel had mentioned, but we don't have to find it at home. I mean, we were, like I said, back in our budget sessions, we were lucky to get a $900,000 grant that we probably might not even get next year. I mean, we were blessed to get this $900,000 grant that we might not get. So, I mean, if we're $288,000 to the good, and that don't mean we have to go find it at home, that'll just be less we gotta go find next year if we don't get the grant. 'Cause I mean, we don't even know why we got that grant this year, but we did, and we were blessed to get it. So, say nothing personal, no one. I mean, we need to keep this budget where it's at, and, if folks have, needs in the future, then they come ask.
I'll say where I'm at with it. If we keep the budget where it's at, I feel
comfortable knowing Wayne and knowing a lot of his employees, the services will stay the same. I know you're not gonna throw us under the bus. I know you're not. If we keep it, if we keep it saying that you run into an issue where you need the money, it's just like you, the hospital, the fire department, everybody, if they get in line and need something special, we can come up, we can do it then. So, I mean, we're in a situation where, I know you're not gonna not go to a call when you get a 911 call, and you're not gonna let your employees not do it, I'm not worried about that. And I think we ask everybody to cut the budget a certain percentage, and it just didn't work out that way for Wayne. But I believe he could get by with less money and still do the services without any issues, because I know I'll be 100% with you. If you need some extra money, I'll be there, But right now, we need to leave it the same. That's where I'm at with it.
Well, I think we need to leave the budget the same. I think, Sheriff, they took $200,000 from you, didn't they? Okay. Now, they took that from you, you didn't give it to us, but anyway, let me say this. The other Constitution officers did give us some money back. And I've been thinking about that $288,000. If that $288,000 don't find a home in the treasurer or is our treasurer in the county, and we want to give it back to the people that gave it, since they took that money from all constitutional officers, I do have a figure for every one of them, and I can support this. I'll start with Mark Williams. He gave about $12,000. I could give him $5 back. Shauna Beach, I think it was about $74,000. I can give her $25,000 back. Gary, I think you gave about 72. Am I right? I can give you 25,000. Dana, about 100,000. I can give her 33 back. And that's $88,000. Sheriff, we took $200,000 from you, I can give you $100,000 that back. The one that we took $400,000 from you, I can give you $100,000 that back. That's $288,000. I can support that. Okay? Now that's my final say. I can support giving the $288,000 back to the 5 constitutional officers and the one that I cannot support, just taking money from everybody and taking it. And the sheriff didn't report it. He did not give us some money. But we took it anyway. And with that, I feel like if we gave any of them back, we'll give it all back to the people that gave it when we got it back.
I think we have a pretty clean budget as it is, and it don't hurt to have a little surplus even coming into the next budget season. But we don't know what next year's gonna look like, so I just caution wanting to get rid of that $288,000, and that's knowing we're gonna have a rough year or two ahead of you. This might not have even been our roughest year, to be honest with you. So we're really looking at the next 2 years could be a little rough. I'd encourage us to kind of stay where we are and go in that direction.
Can I say something? All I have is services. All I have is people that we work with, okay? If you remember, I'm almost positive that in the last March, I stood right here and I told y'all, I said, I see what's coming. I know GP and I know West Fraser, we have 2 major employers that slammed the door right there. I seen what's coming. I told y'all. I said, I'll cut all the low hanging fruit I can. If I don't have to have it, we'll cut it. And that's what I meant when I say low-hanging fruit, is you don't necessarily have to have it cut. I don't have to mow, I don't have to pick up trash, I don't have to. We do this to help the community and help the people, to help you when you ask for something. That's what we do, it's a service. I'd have people to do that service. They have to be paid. I'm just asking to maintain. If y'all can maintain where we're at, we'll make it work somehow or another. That's all I'm asking. I ain't arguing, I just, if we can maintain the people that's big.
Thank you, George, I appreciate you coming.
One thing, Sheriff, if you don't mind, I had some,
One
one thing I wanted to add, from our budget was mentioned that it's a $200,000 cut from 9.2 million, but, no one wants anyone to be let go. Well, for us, we have our operating is split between personnel and operating budget. So, that 200,000 that's coming out of an operating budget, or 100,000 for your recommendation, Mr. Jones, which we would appreciate. That would be 14% of our operating budget. And we have multiple facilities that we have to maintain that service, the entire community. The jail and dispatch being one of them. They don't just dispatch from the sheriff's office. The jail doesn't just take in arrests from the sheriff's office. We maintain facilities that serve this whole county. Even maintaining the same, we're taking a $100,000 cut. We're still gonna have to figure out some stuff because, like we said before, if we had surplus without laying people off, in this time where it's tight, we would do our best to work with you guys. We wouldn't give you a number. We base that on what we feel like we need to maintain without letting people go or letting officers go. So I just want to clarify that part.
Any more questions? Y'all will put with me, I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
I would like to say that once this process is over, I hope that we can have good relations with every department, with every constitutional officer. We don't need to be split, we don't need to be at odds, we don't need to be having to go through what we've been through this year. We're all adults, and I think that we just need to, try to move on from this and start fresh. So with that being said, I would like to offer a motion that we keep the budget as is with all the cuts and everything as is.
Final budget right now is at 101, 315, 281. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Is that correct, clerk?
Yes.
A motion by Commissioner Siegel to keep the budget at 101,315,281. Is there a second? Do we have a second?
I'll say it.
Second by Commissioner Moody. Roll call.
Yes, roll call vote. Commissioner English,
Yes.
Commissioner Moody,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
No.
Commissioner Eagle,
Yes.
Commissioner Dents.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So I do believe we're required to give a written notice to the sheriff, or you guys are required to give a written notice to the sheriff. So we will put that notice on the agenda tomorrow night of this cut.
And we also, or you need to identify where those reductions, should be taken from. Now, Gary, what I don't know is if we need to go from the requested budget that was the 9.539 million, or if we need to consider what they verbally amended to the 9.2. We probably need to confer with our attorney on that. And just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Okay.
Can I say one more thing? I'd also like a letter, about y'all taking emergency management back. I need that in writing too, if you will.
That was emailed to,
Okay.
Mr. Marty.
Okay, but he's in the hospital.
I know, so our attorney prepared that and emailed it right after the meeting. John, do you want me to send that to you?
Yes,
Please, please.
Okay, I will.
Thanks so much.
I will.
I guess
We done?
Thank you guys for your time.
All right. There is. Any other items? Anyone? Okay. Nothing else, we'll obtain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Commissioner Dent, to a second. Commissioner Speaker, all in favor?
You are the last party in the conference.